Alrighty, back with another gameplay video. This time we're looking at Patriarchs here. Let's skip to the start of the game. Okay. So I have a pretty good opening hand. I have a way to get Abraham on turn one. I have some blindness I can throw out too to stop my opponent slow him down. And I drew a Lost Soul. It's going to shut down any territory class characters in their territory for a little bit. And I drew Peace too. So yeah, I have a really strong turn one. They don't have any Lost Souls, however, so even though I have really strong turn one, it's not going to matter. They actually won the die roll, and they're going to go to first. So they have some star abilities. Notably, he plays a card called, it's a gray-black card. It's a star ability. He reveals that, and that's going to protect all decks from, let's see if I can hover the card. Yeah, protect all decks and reserves from opponents during next battle phase. So that would shut down any search abilities that I'm going to try to do if I search in battle or draw. So, but luckily the way it kind of worked out for me is that I have a storehouse in play. I'm going to play down a storehouse, and the storehouse is going to actually protect my resources from his cards. So it kind of undoes his his protect, if that makes sense. We had a quick ruling question here. If this Hunter Lost Soul gets discarded from the top of my deck by special ability, which it was from one of his cards, the question was, do we get to trigger it? So you'll notice if you watch the deck tech, I didn't have Hunter in there. I instead had a Lost Soul from the New Testament, but I wanted to make sure all the Lost Souls in the deck were Old Testament, so I put in Hunter. Seems pretty good synergy for Old Testament. We are going to swap out Hunter for a Lost Soul eventually, once we got the ruling, but I was just going to start my turn there. So I made a misplay here. I was going to try and grab the... I'm trying to grab Covet, but that says if drawn or put into play by an opponent's special ability. So because I put it into play because of my special ability, it's just going to sit in my territory. So don't make that mistake at home, everybody. So yeah, the objective with this deck, get Abraham, turn one. Amazing. There he is. I'm trying to think right now, do I want to throw... Wait, I can't throw Peace on there because I just played my one territory class enhancement per turn. So I'm like just even thinking like, is there a point to attacking? And because my deck is protected, I feel like there is a point to attack because Abraham can start getting heroes out of my deck. So he's going to attack. I'm going to search my deck for the 3 visitors. Unfortunately, I don't have a hero in the deck that can play Lost Souls from deck. So maybe that'd be like another card that I'd probably maybe like take out Rebecca, put in one of those. I feel like Rebecca's been one of the most useless cards for me in this deck so far. Like whenever I draw her, it's just like, what are you doing, Rebecca? Like, I feel like there's a better card that could be put there, you know? Okay, so I'm going to Jacob, who can go to Covenant of Noah. So Covenant of Noah is a good negate and also can help me get cards out of my deck, heroes out of my deck if I need to. So yeah, imagine if they had a Lost Soul out, like it'd be a pretty strong turn one. So even though he has no Lost Souls out, he's going to play a Lying Prophet. Going to reveal my hand. What? Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That's like reverse Matthew, huh? good brigades. So yeah, I have blue, green, teal, red, and clay. So really good line profit here. So because he's drawing so many cards, that actually means like he drew some lost souls. So it was a risky play, but I think he's fine with that trade-off. And we're playing against red right now. Really good player. I haven't been able to beat him at all up to this point. So he's going to try and search for his combo piece, but blindness is actually going to make it so he gets a random card from his deck. So that ends up being pretty crucial in this game, this early blindness coming out. Yeah, cards like blindness and Nazareth are so good to stop opponents from searching. So I don't know what my opponent could have in their hand. I'm going to go for out of their hands, and we're going to try to underdeck any evil cards they have in there that might slow us down or prevent us from getting a soul here. Okay, so they're Holy of Holies deck. Red calls this deck Honeypot because it's built upon the card Pot of Mana. I didn't have many options there for cards to pick. I feel like his enhancements are pretty weak. So I didn't want to underdeck any of those. And Entrapping Pharisees is just like a really good card. If I have Storehouse out and he blocks with Entrapping Pharisees, I can't discard a card from my hand to fulfill that cost. And so he automatically gets a capture on me, like which can't be negated. So yeah, I'm definitely getting rid of that card. I passed the turn back to him. He drew a Virgin Birth. It's a card that is really good at just grabbing whatever you need for the moment. So he's grabbing a Mayhem. Notably, Mayhem, it's a card that when you play it, you shuffle cards from each opponent's hand, every player's hand, into the deck and draw 6 cards, up to 6, something like that. But because I have Storehouse out, that's not going to work on me. I get to keep my piece. I get to keep my red dragon. So he's going for Three Woes. Three Woes is going to negate a card of opposite alignment. Blindness is an artifact. It's a neutral card right now. It's not an evil card. He's playing out on evil. Opponent is getting his offense ready. I just have a red dragon. I'm just hoping and praying he has nothing, but there's no way that's going to work. Opponent's deck is really good at drawing cards. So he's using his Denarius to like get a Roman and draw 3 cards. It's like pretty good. He's trying to get his lock together on turn 1. That's where he puts his Glory of the Lord, gets a Tabernacle. Tabernacle holds a Pot of Mana or Holy of Holies. Yep, there he activated Pot of Mana. Restrict all players from controlling more than one character in field battle. So as you can imagine, like my big banding deck, if that Pot of Mana works, I'm going to be really sad. No more big banding. Opponent has 7 cards in hand. I have a measly 4. Davis Harp, really good against demons. I'm just really drowning in card advantage right now. Opponent just burying me. David can grab Son of God from deck, which is cool, I guess. David's so good. Because he can hold David's harp and negates my red dragon, so my block is just useless. Yep. Lone Musician is blocked. gonna negate my red dragon. At least he has to play a card. David also can't be prevented, so Holy of Holies will work. He's going to grab his storehouse with a Covenant of David played in battle. So as you can see, like if this blindness wasn't negated, I feel like my opponent's turn one would have been really slow. He's going to use a card that bounces my red dragon. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to surrender the soul here. And I need to draw something good here. He uses Son of God, and he takes the lead 2-1. Second Coming is going to grab the Son of God back. Opponent is going to use a Mayhem to just shuffle his hand back into his deck and draw 6 cards. So opponent's probably seen almost over half his deck right now. You know, he has cards that can go search for anything in his deck. Really strong opening from the opponent. Okay, so because of this Lost Soul, I have to think, what's the weakest card in my hand? And also, I'm asking a question right now. If I have a star card in my hand, do I resolve the star ability, or do I resolve the Lost Soul first? And apparently, resolve the star ability, then the Lost Soul. So I'm just thinking, like, is there anything that can get me out of this? And I think I also miss a storehouse trigger here, so that's unfortunate. I think I was too tunnel focused on Choked Seed. I gotta top deck my good enhancement. Yeah, this card, I don't feel like I need it at all. But honestly, like, because I'm going Peace into a massive banding chain this turn, I don't know why I put a good enhancement on top of my deck, you know? I feel like that was just, there's no need for it. Activating Covenant Noah, blindness is negated, so I'm just gonna try something else for a turn. Just looking at my best options here. Maybe he has a card that protects Lost Souls from evil cards, so I'm going to grab Benjamin. There comes the piece on Abraham. And then, because Abraham can negate opponent's neutral cards, is his pot of mana and his Holy Holies are being negated this turn. Or this phase, I guess. So let the fun begin. Abraham and the 3 visitors. You know how this goes by now. Can grab a Patriarch from deck. Joseph is going to come in. So I think opponent missed the fact that peace is happening here. So I think they're going to be under... Oh wait, they can't underdeck any cards from hand. Anyways, never mind. Okay, Benjamin comes into battle, exchanges for Judah from my deck. Judah's not really doing anything, but he gets to ban more. Banning to Jacob, who can grab an enhancement from my deck, Genesis. So I grabbed this card because I was worried he might be able to find a way to kill all my heroes and I'd be left with nothing. So Numerous as the Stars can get my heroes back if that's the case. There's my attack. So he was going to try to go for this stalemate here, but luckily I have peace. And so if he played stalemate, it would just get tossed and nothing would happen. So Faith of Abraham says, if your Abraham is blocked in battle, you can play a blue card. So I'm wondering, like, because there's a giant battle here and there's toss, could I have tossed an enhancement at my opponent's character? Because maybe there's the chance that you don't want to let them even try to do anything. So that's a question I don't know the answer to. All right. Looks like I grab a soul. Abraham is just so good with that peace band. He's getting a card from his storehouse. Reminds me of like, oh, I should probably be getting a card from a storehouse. I'm just looking at my options here. But my defense is crumbling. There's not a whole lot my defense is capable of doing right here. Maybe like a suicidal swine stampede. Okay, here's the card that's a game changer. He got his Eliezer out. So Eliezer is a priest that protects his artifacts and makes it so he can't be negated, and he himself can't be negated, and he's territory class. So as long as that card's out, Holy of Holies, pot of mana, they're sticking around and they're staying. My red dragon is so sad. He bounced it to my hand with a plague of frogs. Red dragon had protection, but plague of frogs says regardless of protection. Okay. So he needs one more lost soul to win because I have he has Son of God in his hand. I need one more lost soul to win if I draw my second coming. So I feel like this game's winnable from my position. You know, I'm starting to feel like this is a really close game and anything's possible here. So I think right now I'm trying to figure out how do I maximize the chance that I get to draw my second coming here and try to win the game. I just grabbed a lost soul at random. There's no point in me giving him more lost souls. But to be fair, I don't feel like a lot of my lost souls would have done anything there. And this time, I do remember Storehouse. So I have a card in my reserve that allows me to draw cards. So I think I should have used this after combat, and you'll see why pretty fast. So a common card in the format is a card called Foreign Wives. Foreign Wives usually played in reserve, and a popular play is to use like the Deceiver or Murder's Command to add Foreign Wives directly from reserve into battle. And Foreign Wives is protected from everything based upon if I've drawn 5 or more cards in a turn. So I definitely didn't play around that card this game. If I was playing around that card, I should have maybe tried to Angel the Lord, his Deceiver, in his territory. Because if he goes Deceiver into Foreign Wives, my Rescue Tent fails. Or I even should have played my card that draws me a bunch of cards during my discard phase. Because I believe you can play one territory class card per turn, and you can play it in your discard phase. So I don't know why I'm doing it now. Definitely not thinking about Foreign Wives. And this is probably going to cost me the game here. Probably should have maybe, grabbed Gates of Hell or Christian Martyr. I don't know. There's a lot of situations where I felt like I could have done differently here. I guess a good reason to play it like before blocks is if I can draw like a fallen star, and that's going to mess up his ability to search his deck. His hand is protected anyways from Storehouse. So because Pot of Mana's out and Holy Holy's out and it can't be negated, the best I can do is Abraham with a piece. So yeah, he goes Deceiver into Foreign Wives. And because I drew all those cards, now it's just like, I can't even Angel the Lord that, you know? I would need a card that says regardless of protect abilities, but I don't have any of those. So even if like I got a rescue off there, I didn't win the game on the spot because I didn't draw my second coming. So like even if I did rescue there, I would be 4 lost souls and they would have 4. It'd be a tie and I just need to hold on one more turn. My defense is just not good at stopping people. That's definitely felt like the weak point about this deck. Just really bad at actually blocking. You know, there's so many good territory class shenanigans that it can do, but it just doesn't feel like that's super effective. So I'm going for a play here that it's actually not legal. He has Holy Holy's out, which will negate my accumulator. So he's going to correct me in a couple minutes here. I just love this card. This card is sick, though. I want to play a demon deck, and I want this card to be good. I recorded a game. Actually, I played a game. I didn't record it, where I got the accumulator combo off with Choke Seed. So I drew like 12 cards off of that. That was cool. But alas, no such luck for me. Temple Dedication is going to give his musicians protection from evil cards this turn. If I had been able to negate his Storehouse, I could have maybe tried to underdeck his Son of God from hand with the Fallen Star. Give me a shot at winning the game, but didn't have my Three Woes. Didn't have my... Yeah. Jeremiah's coming in to seal the deal here. I don't know what the best play I could have done here. I was figuring like maybe if I negate his Storehouse right now with this card. I don't know what else I should place this on. I could put on one of his heroes. I can't put it on his priest because his priest can't be negated. I think my best block was a Beelzebub. Maybe there's a demon in my deck that I wasn't thinking of, but I feel pretty hopeless. Maybe there's a chance I get initiative and I can play this card and just try to survive. There it goes. He's going to bounce me. I don't have any negates. And he wins. So overall, the offense felt really strong and really consistent, being able to get Abraham out there. The piece combo is just so powerful. The defense felt like the weakest part of this deck. Another card that didn't feel really good was Rebecca. Yeah, I feel like there's a better hero that you can like search out with your deck from that. I would, if I had to play this deck again, I would definitely swap out the defense and try something else. But Abraham was such a solid card. Opponent was showing me that if I had tried to win next turn, he would have just played Entrapping Pharisees and would have just captured my hero in battle. Can't be negated. So it's just like crushing, total, utter loss, defeat. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to gameplay. And if you liked seeing my opponent's deck, he called it the honeypot, that'll be the next deck that I focus on with deck techs and gameplay. So stay tuned for that.